We'll be practicing a yin practice this morning. It is gentle yoga, more restorative, a little slower, and we're going to be staying on the floor. So it's always a nice little treat on Monday and Friday to be a little more relaxed and not put forth so much effort. However, as we hold the poses a little longer and we're doing a more gentle, less effort, we also realize that you will be initiating a lot of energy inside. It actually opens up the inner energies and can be very powerful practice. So let's begin by breathing into this belly. So we're learning to breathe into the belly at all times. So we're practicing on the mat. This is our practice. So acknowledge yourself for being on the mat. And there's ever a pose that you don't want to do or that you need to come out of a pose because you're feeling stressed or your body needs a little break, this is your practice. So always honor your body. We don't go into pain in yoga. We stay on the edge, and that feels so good. Stretch and effort of the body. And so continuing to breathe into this lower belly. And this is how we're going to be breathing throughout the whole practice, in our bellies. And I like to put my hand right here on the lower abdomen. This is called abdominal breathing or belly breathing. It triggers the relaxation response in the nervous system. This is a very powerful breath. When we start to breathe into this lower belly, it triggers the parasympathetic nervous system to click in for us. And that's the nervous system we want, the relaxation response. And it will start to release health building, positive hormones like serotonin that make you feel good and allow your body to feel safe and at peace. So we're going to do just a little pranayama this morning. I'm going to take this belly breath and we're going to move it into 3-part yogic breath for a few moments, a few breaths, and then some alternate nostril breathing, and then we're going to go back to the abdominal breathing. Now let's begin by going into 3-part yogic breaths. So we're going to inhale into the belly, moving it up into the ribs, and all the way into the chest, filling the entire front cavity of the body, holding it for a moment. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You can exhale the opposite, exhaling into the chest, the ribs, the belly, or you can just exhale completely. So I'm going to let you choose what you want to do today. Inhaling into the belly, the ribs, the chest. Pause and hold that for just a moment at the top of the breath, and then either let it go completely or exhaling down, chest, ribs, belly. I invite you to continue at your own pace for a few more 3-part yogic breaths. Bringing all your attention and all your awareness focused on the breath. And one more breath. After your final exhale, allow yourself to take a few integrative breaths to watch the body return to its natural rhythm. Still keeping your full concentrated attention on the breath. I'm holding Chin Mudra with the thumb and pointer finger touching. And relax that. We're going to move into our final pranayama, and that is Nadi Shodhanam, alternate nostril breathing. And I use the hand mudra here. We're going to bring the pointer and middle finger, and we can either place those on the third eye, stimulate that third eye chakra, opening up our inner vision, or curling them underneath. And then we have the thumb and either the pointer or the pinky to close off the nostrils alternately. I'll use this so you can see me a little better. So as we do this breath, we're going to be breathing alternately through the nostrils, and we're switching nostrils at the exhale. So we'll always be switching to the other nostril, to the other side on our exhale. And so let's use the thumb to close off the right nostril and exhale out the left. Inhale the left side again, same side. And then we're going to release the thumb and bring the finger onto the left nostril and exhale out the right. Always switching on the exhale. Inhale, same side. And again, switch. Closing the right nostril, exhaling through the left. Inhale, left side, same side. And switching, closing the left, exhaling through the right. Inhale, same side, the right. And on this exhale, we're going to switch, exhaling out the left and continuing at your own pace, alternate nostril breathing. Bringing all your focused attention to the breath. Balancing the nadis, the right and left sides of the brain. A few more breaths. And one more breath. Releasing mudra on the next exhale, this Vishnu mudra. Releasing that. And closing your eyes and letting the body integrate. Being very mindful and observant of the breath as it integrates back to its natural rhythm. And letting it go. And take this moment to scan your body. See where you're at physically, energetically, emotionally. Diving inside your own being, checking in with the inner being. And take this moment now to set an intention for yourself, something you'd like to create. And bringing it forth as if it has already manifested now. So stating it in the present moment. I am alive, happy and free now. Whatever your intention is, make it in the positive and present. Feed that subconscious mind positive intentions. And take a moment to feel the energy of that joy of feeling that intention fully manifested now. And letting that intention go with a this or better, this or better, this or better. And coming back. Beautiful. And let's do some pelvic circles. And I invite you to kind of allow the head to roll around with the body, just very gently. Nice and slowly so you can really feel the sensations in your body. Keeping that breath flowing in the belly. And if there's any spot that feels some sensation, you can massage that, rocking back and forth. Let's go the other direction. Keeping that energy flowing with the breath and coming back to center. Beautiful job. Let's do a little opening up of the side body. You can bring the left hand down to the earth and that elbow can bend and bring the right arm up alongside the body, opening up the side body. A little lateral stretch. in the body. And then moving over to the other side, bringing the right hand down to the earth, letting the right elbow bend, and stretching that left arm up, opening up that side body, breathing into the belly. And our focus now is self-observation with compassion. So I usually say with non-judgment or neutrality. But we're going to watch ourselves and our bodies and our minds and just noticing when our mind goes off into thinking, noticing our body when the body feels sensation. Anything that occurs that we observe within ourself and our body and our energy field or our emotions, anything that goes on even in our thinking, we're just going to observe with compassion. We're going to want to, if we move off into thinking, we're going to notice that, observe that with compassion, and then we are going to bring ourselves back to the moment, to the practice, to the sensations. But no judgment, only deep compassion for ourselves. Notice the conversation you have with yourself. I often have a conversation where I'm hard on myself, where I might say to myself, I haven't done it right, or I haven't gotten enough done in the day, I haven't been productive enough. That's one of my conversations. And I'm really practicing honoring myself wherever I'm at, wherever I was in the day, and acknowledging myself for the things that I did get done in the day, and praising myself for even if it was just a relaxed day and I just relaxed, praising myself for that. So really getting rid of that judger inside of our heads. I know I have one that can be a little hard on ourselves at times, and replacing that with a real compassionate inner voice, compassionate inner parent, and loving and accepting energies for ourselves. So we're going to watch our minds, watch our bodies. Let's bring the feet together, soles of the feet together in a nice little butterfly, Baddha Konasana. We can wrap the hands around the feet. You can open those feet up like a book if you like. And then let's press those knees down to the floor as you extend the spine up, lengthening the spine. And then engage those bandhas. We're going to be engaging the bandhas periodically. So the pelvic floor, you're going to feel that root lock is going to engage, and you're going to feel the pelvic floor lift up a little bit. That's Mula Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha, the belly comes in and up. Jarandala Bandha, the chin comes in and tongue is on the roof of the mouth. These locks or seals lock the energy in to the body as we breathe through the belly and increase the prana and life force in our body. So inhaling, lengthening, engaging those bandhas. And on the exhale, we're going to fold forward. We're going to be hinging at the hips. So it's going to be just a very gentle hinge forward when we're in this position. And you're going to feel a nice hip opener. And so engage those bandhas, and let's bring some prana into the belly. So we're going to raise the kundalini, we're going to raise the energy in our body, and we're going to lock it in with those seals. Beautiful. And let's see if we can hinge now just a little further in our hip. Just feel that as we held that edge, we're able to hinge further a little bit. Taking one more breath here. Beautiful. And let's come back up to center. Beautiful job. And let's flap those butterfly wings. allowing those legs and knees to flap, releasing and relaxing anything in the hips. Beautiful job. Nice. And we're going to extend the left leg out in front of us, and we're going to bend that right leg so the sole of the right foot is resting on the inner thigh of the left leg. We're going to go into single leg forward folding. We're going to do it kind of similar. We're going to inhale as we lengthen the spine, sitting up really straight, and then we're going to exhale, hinging forward. You're going to feel the sensation on the back of the left leg. So honoring that sensation, finding your edge for your hinge. And once you get to that edge, we're going to engage those bandhas and take a nice deep breath. And on the next exhale, see if you can hinge a little bit deeper. And then allow the spine to round. Head to be looking in towards the knee and the thigh. And if you can reach that foot, giving that foot a little massage. Massaging that foot as a sacred foot. And noticing your thoughts about that and compassion. Noticing how you feel when you're told that your body is a sacred body temple, housing the divine within you. How do you feel? Can you accept that you are an extension of something very sacred? You can flex and extend that front foot. See if you can hinge a little deeper in the hip. And just enjoy this nice deep forward fold. Breathing into the belly. And on your next inhale, gently and kindly coming up. Beautiful job. You're going to switch legs. Right leg out, left leg is going to come in. Left foot is resting on the inner thigh of the right leg. And we're going to inhale as we lengthen and engage those bandhas. See how tall you can make yourself. And then exhale, hinging forward. And a nice hinge in the hips. And finding your edge. Taking a nice deep breath here as you rest in your edge. And then see if you can hinge a little bit deeper. And then rounding the spine. Dropping the head to look in towards the knee. And again, if you'd like to massage that very sacred foot, part of this divine temple, as we become more and more embodied, sacred embodiment. And part of that is observing how we treat ourselves and practicing deep, deep self-love in the types of conversations we have with ourselves. And noticing any harsh comments that we would never tell another, but we may have said to ourselves, and eliminating that harsh voice and replacing it with a kind and gentle and all-loving voice. And you can flex and extend that front foot. And see if you can hinge a little deeper in the hip. Continuing to breathe into the belly, engaging those bandhas. And enjoying sensation. And gently and kindly coming back up. The seated position. Beautiful job. I'm going to keep this right leg out, and I'm going to take this left leg. I'm going to put the left foot on the outside of the right leg with the left knee up. And I'm going to take the right arm and I'm going to just snug that left leg into my body. I'm going to take this left hand and bring it right down by the hip and the buttocks onto the earth. I'm going to inhale as I lengthen the spine. And exhale, twisting to gaze out over the left shoulder. And taking 2 more breaths. Inhaling as you lengthen. And exhaling, twist. One more breath on your own. And release. Let's go to the other side for this nice twist. So I'm going to extend the left leg out. I'm going to take the right foot on the outside of the left leg, the right knee is up. I'm going to take that right arm and an elbow here and just snug that right leg into the body. Inhaling, lengthening. Right hand is going to come down onto the earth, palm down, right by the hip and buttocks. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, twisting to gaze out over that right shoulder. And continue 2 more breaths on your own. And returning to center. Beautiful job. And let's bring both legs out. And let's just flop those legs around a little bit. Windshield wiper the legs. However feels good for you right now. And we're going to stay seated for a moment. I'm going to move facing a little bit different direction. And we're going to bring those feet together. We're not doing Baddha Konasana, but we're going to bring them together. We're going to do a little half balancing bear. And I'm going to bring that left foot up. I'm going to wrap my hand around the outside of the left foot. Knee is bent. And I'm going to bring that leg out and feel a nice stretch on that left leg. The right leg is resting on the earth, comfortable. And moving that leg if you like, and feeling some different sensations, opening up the hips, stretching the leg, seeing what feels good. Might bring it closer to your body, may bring it a little further out, wider for a stretch. Keeping that breath flowing into the belly. Enjoying the sensation. Noticing and observing your thoughts about yourself and listening with compassion as you replace anything that is harsh with pure, loving acknowledgement. I'm going to go to the other foot now, so releasing that one down, bringing that left foot up, wrapping the hand around the right foot, around the right foot, the outside of the right foot, and then stretching and opening out that right leg. And moving that right leg around, maybe closer to the body or a little further out. Just enjoying the sensations. Acknowledging yourself for being on the mat today. Breathing in the belly. Connecting with your body, allowing your sacred divine energy and intelligence and awareness and consciousness to more embody this physical human sensory equipment. Knowing we're not the body, yet we are animating, we are the conscious awareness animating through the body. And how sacred that is. And bringing that leg down. Beautiful. Let's go to either side one more time. Opening and stretching. Keeping that breath flowing. Present to sensations, to sounds. I can hear my bells ringing. And if you'd like, I invite you to do a balancing bear. If not, we just continue on either side. You can bring those heels up. Wrap the hands around both outsides of both legs and bring both legs out at the same time. And this is a balance. You're balancing on your sacrum, your sits bones. So find a point in front of you that's not moving. You can gaze at. It's called the dristi to help you with your balance. You're in the balancing. It's a gentle balance. One more breath here. And releasing down. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. We're going to come up onto our knees and move into a table pose. And so the thing to remember with your table pose is the knees are right under the hips and the wrists are right under the shoulders. And once you get that, you're good. Let's move into a little cat-cow. So our cow, we're going to arch the back, stick the tailbone out, lift the head and the heart. And that's a great time to inhale. And then on your cat, you're going to exhale as you tuck that tailbone under, round the back. And you can look in towards your thighs or your belly. And moving back and forth. Our cow is extension of the spine. And our cat, as we exhale, is a flexion of the spine. Feeling that back round up. And those spinal processes in front of the spine are flexing. So moving back and forth in your extension and flexion of the spine. Your cow and your cat. When you get into your cat next time, you may want to bring those hips back and feel a nice stretch on the lower back. See if you can feel that, finding your edge. Maybe even moving side to side a little bit. Keeping the breath flowing, enjoying these sensations in the body. Staying in that observation mode of what you're feeling, what you're sensing. Is your mind present? Have you moved off into thought? What's next in the day? See if you can bring yourself back to the present moment. Just moving back and forth in cat-cow, adding your own movements as you move into cat-cow. You might want to do some circles with the hips as you move back into cat. Feels good. Whatever you're feeling to do. Being very gently and kindly with yourself and your body. Really recognizing you're custodian of this body for a little while. Your conscious awareness, your soul power as custodianship of this physical being. And how will you be the best custodian, the kindest? You are your own child. How will you treat that inner child within you? And I think the only way to treat a child is through love, compassion, understanding, setting some boundaries and discipline, but in a kind and gentle way. Keeping the breath flowing. And eventually coming back into a child's pose. All the way back, you can open up the knees and you can allow the belly to rest inside between the knees. And just taking some time to breathe and be deeply with yourself in a very loving way. Maybe praise yourself or compliment yourself or acknowledge yourself for some things as you rest in child's pose for a few breaths. And on your next inhale, coming up. And let's move from child's pose. Let's move right straight up into an up dog. The arms are strong and holding you up. And then moving back into a child's pose. And just flowing back and forth from child's pose to up dog. Noticing the sensations in your body. Keeping that breath flowing in the belly. Adding any little spontaneous movements as you go. This is your practice. And ending up back into child's pose for just a moment. Taking a breath here. Noticing sensation. And coming up. And we're going to bring the legs out in front of us. Scoot up towards the middle of the mat. And we're going to come gently down onto our backs. The first thing we're going to do is bring those knees into the chest and just hug them and rock back and forth. And as you hug your knees into the chest, imagine that you're giving yourself a hug. You're hugging and sending your own self love. Hugging yourself. And let's hold on to that right knee and let's extend the left knee. And let's take that right knee out to the side just a little bit so we're aligned more with our armpit, not our ribs. And gently pull the right knee in towards the armpit as your left leg presses down towards the earth. So you're going to feel two lines of energy simultaneously. Left leg pressing down towards the earth and the right knee being pulled gently in towards the armpit. Engaging those bandhas and breathe. And releasing that knee. And then let's put that right foot, right knee up onto the earth. Let's come up onto that left side for just an inch. We're going to move into a spinal twist, bringing that right knee over to the left. Left hand on the right knee, guiding that over. Noticing sensation. The right arm is going to be extended out 90 degrees, and you're going to twist the head to gaze out over the right fingertips. And breathe into the belly as you rest into this nice deep twist, bringing lots of energy and vitality into the organs, into the spinal column. Deep breaths. Breathing into the belly. One more breath. Releasing the leg. And back to center. And we're going to switch legs. So we're going to extend the right leg out straight. We're going to bend that left knee in and widen that left knee a little so it's lined up with the armpit. Pressing the right leg into the earth and a gentle pull of the left knee and leg in towards the armpit. So feel those two simultaneous lines of energy going in different directions. And breathe into that belly, gauging those bandhas if you can. And releasing that left leg, bringing that left foot onto the earth. Left knee is up. Let's come up onto the right side just a little bit, an inch. Taking that left knee over to the right, right hand guiding the left knee over. Extending the left arm out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over the left fingertips. And breathe into the belly. This nice deep twist. So good for the body. What nourishes the body nourishes the soul and spirit. And releasing that knee and coming back to center. And let's bring those knees into the chest and rock back and forth a little bit. Release and relax that lower back. We're going to move into a little supported bridge. You can use your block or a cushion. And we're going to lift those hips up. Bring that block or that cushion right under your sacrum. Right under the sacrum, right there. So the sacrum is resting on the block. We're not resting the lumbar spine. We're resting the sacrum right on the buttocks. And just allow yourself to relax into this pose, letting the block do the work of holding you up so you're not extending any energy. If you'd like to, you can widen the feet and let the knees come in together to rest. So there's even less effort. And just breathing into the belly and relaxing into this nice pose. Fully present, the observer of your own self with deep compassion and love. Be present to yourself. Couple more breaths to the belly. Fully present to the self. Observing and noticing your own being. Aware that you are aware. And inhale, lifting those hips up and taking that block out. And that block back wherever it needs to be. And then bringing those knees into the chest and rocking around to release and relax that lower back. Beautiful job. And we're going to bring those feet in together. Konasana. Pulling those feet into the body. Stretch. And let's release the right leg and put the right foot on the earth, right knee up. And let's rest the left ankle on the right knee and do a little supine pigeon. Bringing that right leg in towards the body, clasping the hands behind the right hamstring and gently pulling the leg into the body. Feeling a nice opening in the left hip. And breathing into the belly. And releasing the right leg. And let's moving over to the other side. Left foot on the mat, left knee up, and rest that right ankle on the left knee. Bringing the left leg up, clasping the hands behind the left hamstring and gently pulling that left leg into the body as you feel the right hip opening. And breathe. Engage those bandhas and bring in the prana. Fully present to the self, observing, noticing your own beingness with deep compassion and love. And I invite you to do this through the day, noticing, being there, present to yourself with deep compassion and love. All day, every day. And releasing the leg. Beautiful job. Let's bring both legs up. Just a little inversion. Can flex and extend those feet. Just giving those veins a little vacation. Let's bring those legs nice and wide. Let's bend the knees and see if you can grab on the outside of your feet, both feet, widening those feet as much as you can. And then we'll go into baby, bending those knees. Feet are facing the sky, and gently with the hands pulling the legs in towards the armpits. Doing a nice hip opener on both sides. And breathe into the belly. Engage those bandhas, especially that mula bandha. Rest that tongue on the roof of the mouth. And breathe. Noticing, observing. No judgment, only compassion and love. And releasing and rolling around in happy baby. Just playing with your legs, yourself. This is what we did as babies for sacred embodiment. We were doing it way back then. Feeling the sensation, enjoying the movements, keeping the breath flowing. Beautiful. And releasing those legs, bringing the feet on the earth. We're going to do a couple releases and move into Savasana. So feeling both hips, and we're going to, without lifting anything up off the mat, just swivel those hips. So I'm going to take this left hip down towards the left heel as I bring the right hip up towards the right armpit. Just extending in those directions. They're not going to make it all the way. And going to the other side. Right hip is going down towards right heel. Left hip is coming up towards the left armpit. And just gently swiveling back and forth without lifting anything up off the earth. And just swiveling the hips. And noticing sensation. Observing yourself. Enjoying sensation. Breathing into the belly. And then coming back to center, we're going to move into hip pointers. So I'm going to keep this right hip and buttocks rooted into the earth. And I'm going to point the left hip up towards the sky so that left hip and buttocks is going to lift up. And relaxing that left hip down. I'm going to root the left hip and buttocks into the earth as I lift that right hip up. Point that right hip towards the sky. Hip pointers. So moving at your own pace in hip pointers. And releasing and relaxing that lower back for Savasana. Keeping the breath flowing through the belly. Observing sensation. Observing your mind. Practicing deep presence of the self in the present moment. Awareness. And coming back to center. And we're going to move into some cat-cow, supine. So the first thing I'm going to do is cat. I'm going to press the small of my back, that lumbar spine, into the earth. Feel my tailbone tucking under. Flexing the spine. Then we'll move into our cow as we arch that lumbar spine, the small of the back, up off the earth. Tailbone is sticking down towards the earth now. Extension of the spine. Moving back and forth in cat-cow, flexion and extension of the spine. Feeling the small of the back, pressing into the earth, and then arching up off the earth. Nice, slow, conscious movements, mindful. Breathing into the belly. And coming back to center. And we're going to keep those knees up. We're going to just bring the feet a little further apart and further apart so you get out wide enough, maybe the wide edges of the mat. And we're going to drop one knee at a time into the center. Releasing these hips and the lower back. Nice and slowly, mindfully noticing the sensations, observing your own self. Are you present to sensations? Are you in observation? Are you in thinking? See if you can stay in that compassionate, observant space, just noticing, fully present and alert to this moment. And one more time on either side. Beautiful job. Coming back up to center. And we're going to keep the knees up, but we're going to walk those feet back together and drop the knees over to one side or the other. We're going to do double knee drops. You can either swivel them back and forth together, knees together, or a nice alternative is lifting that top knee up, bringing it over to the other side, and letting the bottom knee and leg follow. So find what feels best for you. Double knee drop. Keeping that breath flowing. Remaining in observation with compassion of the self. One more time on each side. And coming back to center. Both knees up, and let's bring those knees into the chest. Final release and relax of the lower back. Rocking back and forth, and then getting into your Savasana Pose. You may want a blanket or an eye pillow. You want something under your knees. I'm not going to be in Savasana for too long, but get comfortable. I like to bring the legs a little wider apart, the arms a little outside the body, palms up, feet going out in a receptive pose. as we integrate the practice in our Savasana, deep relaxation, letting your body completely relax and melt and merge into the earth, letting everything go. Sending an invitation to all the muscles to release any holding, any tension, and simply relax and let go. Feel the whole body relax deeper. The bones become heavier, sinking in towards the earth. Allowing all your systems to relax. Basking in gratitude and peace. Allowing the brain and the nervous system to relax. All the systems, physical systems and energy systems, in and around the body to completely release and relax. And rest in silence for a few moments. Beginning to take a few deep breaths into the belly, observing, noticing, alert to the self in a loving and compassionate way. Feeling the fingers and the toes as you gently come back in deep relaxation. And stretching out the arms and legs. and rolling over to one side or the other. And taking this moment to really relax and be with yourself. One deep breath. And gently and kindly coming up to a seated position. Closing your eyes. And checking in with yourself again. Scanning the body. Noticing where you are physically, energetically, the inner aliveness and sensations, the emotional being. Noticing any changes from when you checked in, beginning of practice. Bring yourself back to that intention you set, seeing that in your mind's eye right now, feeling those same emotions you feel. And coming back and taking this moment to really acknowledge yourself for being here and practicing, getting on the mat, being deeply with yourself in your body, connecting to the physical, the energetic, and the spiritual aspects of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. We'll conclude with a namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.